doesn't take a lot of pressure.
And that's our button to
get our hand up.
Thank you.
Good evening. I want to take this time to share appreciation to all those who have come here today as the City of Little Rock's first meeting back into City Hall. We're going to have some time to discuss a number of different things. But before we take up business, we'll go through the invocation, we'll go through the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we're going to have a period of time of some commentary. But first, just want to welcome everyone in to City Hall. It has literally been 4 years, because the last time we were in here was at least the last time, sometime, I guess that first meeting in March of 2020. I think the last day before things were shut down was actually March 11, 2020. And here we are now, August the 6th. So literally 4 years since we've been here. A lot of credit goes to someone that we will acknowledge here shortly for us getting to this point, but wanted to welcome everyone here that's in attendance as well as watching online to our first City of Little Rock Board of Directors meeting here in the City of Little Rock. With that being said, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Director Miller. Here. Director Richardson. Director Peck. Here. Director Hines. Present. Director Lewis. Here. Director Wyrick. Present. Director Compuris. Director Phillips. Present. Director Adcock. Present. Vice Mayor Webb.
We'll now ask City Director Lance Hines to give our invocation.
Please bow your heads with me. Dear Lord, we're so grateful to be here today, back in these hallowed chambers. Been far too long away. First, we'd like to say a special prayer for our fellow board member, Ken Richardson. Please put your hand on him and those who are working to heal him. Please guide him, show him your way, and please bring him back to us as soon as possible. We would also like to say a special remembrance of our friend and brother, Bruce Moore, who had a vision for this great room we're sitting in today, and we're so thankful that our friend, his friend Susan, our city clerk, was able to have that vision that Bruce had shared with her over the years, and that we get to see what he really wanted for us as a board and a city. Please pray for all of our workers as they work through this heat in the middle of summer. Please pray for the folks that are mowing the grass, picking up the trash, doing the work of our citizens as we get through this hot summer. Please watch out for our public safety folks, our code enforcement, our police, our firemen, as they go out and protect us on a daily basis. Please watch over them, watch over our city. We pray for our county, our state, and our nation. In your son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. May we all please stand for a pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Members of the board, before we go into business with the Rock Academy presentation and the city agenda items, I want to take this time on behalf of the City of Little Rock to share our appreciation to our city clerk and Susan Langley, not only for her tenured years of service here at the City of Little Rock, where she's truly has been and had an imprint not only on this City Hall, but literally every piece of legislation that's gone before us for quite some time. There's normally, for anything to get done, it takes about 3 signatures in this city. It takes Tom Carpenter's, myself, and Susan Langley. And I can tell you each time that I sign something, I see her name, and I see the amount of effort and hard work, time and attention, meticulous attention to many different things. And that same example has been shown in what we have here today, where she has given her heart, mind, soul to this city in every way imaginable, to our dear friend and brother, Bruce Moore, to many City of Little Rock employees and team members, to each of you as city board members. And she really had a vision for this room. And it is what it is today because of Susan Langley, clearly because of the HICO, who is our contractor, and many different folks who played a role in that. But she has been the vision behind it. She has the handprints on it. And we want to take this time to share our appreciation. We know this is her last City of Little Rock Board of Directors meeting. She will be missed. We're going to be calling her a lot because she probably has every key to City Hall. And she probably knows where all the skeletons are, too. So we are very grateful for her from that standpoint. She has explicitly told us not to recognize her. She's told us to not do any big to-do. And, of course, we did not pay any attention. And so before we give her one of the presentations, I want Acting City Manager Emily Cox to share some words as well. Oh, you got to press 2. And we're going to go through a tutorial, everyone. I know, just give us some grace. Susan, what do we do? But it doesn't. No, her name doesn't come up.
It should be high.
We will get her
It
fixed
goes away,
before
yeah.
next week.
It's just an easy press.
You just press one time. All right, just start talking. We'll get to
Okay, I
you.
can start talking too.
Yeah.
Susan, where do I begin? She has worked for the city for almost 22 years, and I have had the privilege of working with her for 10 of those. And outside of Bruce, she's the first person I met at City Hall. She made sure my office was clean before I started. Apparently, it was a little dirty. She got me new carpet. She cleaned out all the files, just like she did for us in here today. So she has been the city clerk, but she has more other duties as assigned than anyone I know. And she is consistent and committed to getting her work done. And she is so loyal to the city and to her high school friend, Bruce Moore. And even though they had their spats, both in writing and in person, she finished this boardroom for him. And her loyalty extends to sports. When her son Colby was in elementary school at Pulaski Heights, she would remind everyone at the department director meetings in the fall that she needed agenda items ASAP because she was going out of town on Friday afternoons. Where was she going, you ask? She and Colby were driving to her hometown of El Dorado every Friday in the fall when her El Dorado Wildcats had a home football game. And then when Colby got older, she spent Friday nights cheering for the Wildcats just down the way at Episcopal where her son played football. And now he's about to be a senior at Mississippi State, and she is cheering on the Bulldogs in every single sport. She also loves the Baylor Bears and the Chicago Cubs, and I'm sure I'm missing some teams, Susan, and you can correct me. And she has professionally dedicated every Tuesday night for 22 years of her life to us and the people of this city. And I think anyone who's been to board meetings knows she's the fastest reader of ordinances in the city of Little Rock, Arkansas. And speaking of, and for other purposes, those other duties as assigned, I mean, they just keep coming back. She has, she shepherded the construction of the 12th Street Station and the LRPD headquarters. She's been involved in the International City Managers Association, the Arkansas City Managers Association, and the International Institute of Municipal Clerks. And outside of work, she was the LRSD Volunteer in Public Schools Award winner in 2017, and she's also active at her church, First Baptist Church on Pleasant Valley, and she sings in the tree there every holiday season, so we can still see her there. And she also helps with VBS most summers, even though Colby has long outgrown it. We will miss our dynamic and loyal friend dearly, and we're so thankful for all she's done. And Susan, don't you forget that last other duty as assigned, the blinds. Make sure they wink at Bruce Timor way. Thank you.
Yep.
Again, Susie, we want to share our appreciation. Director Warwick, is it your hand up for something else? Just want to make sure. You're, yeah, I can let you talk.
Red.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess so. I just want to, really didn't know it was on, but okay. I wanted to share my appreciation for Susan. She and Bruce made a awesome team, and I know they were very close, and it's sad to see her go. I didn't know tonight was your last night. Is tonight your last night? Wow, nobody tells me anything. But I do appreciate working with you. If I needed to know anything, I could get down to the real deal and talk with her. She's very discreet, okay? So thank you, and I wish you the best in your future. I know you'll be successful in whatever you do. You're a sweet, sweet person, and I love you. Thank you so much.
Director Hines, was your hand up for other? If everybody wants to say something, Susan, now let's just go. Not to say let's go ahead, but I want to make sure because I think you had some other things up for the other stuff. Yeah. Oh, sorry. You got it.
Thanks. Susan, it's kind of hard to believe. I'm one of the OGs on the board now, one of the old guys. So I've been. That's what it stands for in my company. Old guy. But I've enjoyed working with you and love watching your son. Actually, our kids have kind of grown up together around here between the Christmas parades and everything else. So hopefully we'll get back to having those some days, although I don't have anybody to share it with anymore. It was a lot of fun. I know the loss of Bruce for all of us, but especially for you, is very difficult. But I know he's looking down right now and going, you did it. You did a great job. So, and I want you guys to know that Bruce, sometimes we may not think it, he always was listening to us. The windows in here, I think I made a quip. We ever do something, I'd like to be nice to have those windows open, especially since we've got the beautiful Robinson across the deal. And I think he'd be very proud of you and all the work you've done. I know this is a labor of love, and I want you to know that we'll be thinking about you every time we come in here, and him too.
Thank you. That's good. Okay, that's good.
Director Peck.
Susan, you're going to be so missed. Thank you from the very beginning, day one, almost 8 years ago, walking me through and making sure that I was not going to make a fool of myself in public or in private. I know what this means to you. Like Lance said, we will think of you and Bruce every time we walk in these doors. I love you so much. Best of luck. We'll miss you. Come see me at Trios.
You know it.
Director Campiris.
Well, Susan, first of all, just accolades for the job well done in this room. You know, you can take a plan and it may be good on paper, but it takes someone here every day looking at it, making sure everything was done correctly, making sure the details were done correctly. And the thing that, having been here in that other room, that I really like about what y'all have done is that I feel closer to the people in the audience. We're not sitting like up on high looking down on people. We're with the people we're supposed to be with. So it's a magnificent job you did, and you know, we hopefully one day will have the money to do the rest of City Hall, and we'll bring you back then. On a personal note, it is the end of an era for me. From Bruce's memorial service with you and I speaking, to the friendship the three of us have had, I miss Bruce, but I'm going to miss you in many ways much more than Bruce, because you have been a confidant. You have been loyal to all of us, but especially Bruce, in good times and bad times. So I appreciate what you've done for the city, but more I appreciate what you've done for Bruce and all of us. So thank you.
Thank you, Director Campiris. Director Adcock.
Yes. Susan, we truly are going to miss you. And I want to thank you for the leadership that you have given to Ellie and Ashley and the other ladies who have come to be part of City Hall. They have had you to look up to, and you to talk to, and you to tell them it'll be okay. I think that we're going to miss you, but I think each one of them will, because they've been with you every day. But don't forget us. Come by and see us every once in a while. And we want to hear all the stories of all the travels you do and the things that you and Kobe do together. Thank you for all that you've done for this city. And thank you for all you did for Bruce.
Thank you, Director Adcock. Vice Mayor Webb.
Thank you, Mayor. Susan, when you brought me in here Friday, I never thought that this would really happen by today. It is miraculous that this happened. Thank you for all of the work that you've put in for so many years. And I remember meeting you the first day, and I think when Emily said other duties as assigned, one of the main ones was keeping us from making mistakes, which Director Peck alluded to, and I appreciate that. Your service to the city, to the people, your friendship with, I mean, you and Bruce really epitomized what friendship means, and I appreciate that. I am the luckiest one on the board because you live in Ward 3, and I am confident that I will get texts from you if anything goes wrong, and you will let me know, and I hope that you will keep in touch. I know you will.
That I could not complain. So, yeah, I'll be calm.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Webb. Susan, if you would briefly introduce the construction team, just to, I know we see some members here. And
It won't stay on. We'll work on this. We have some kinks, as in with any kind of new construction, and we're going to have some kinks, but we're going to have them worked out before August 20th. So in the back of the room is Ken King. He is our architect with Lockerbie and Associates. I've known Ken since we were, he was in architecture school and I was doing interior design. And so I've known him a long time, but he's a great architect, and he has had to hear me, especially the last 3 or 4 days, as Vice Mayor Webb alluded to. When we were in here Friday, it was kind of grim, but Ken took care of it. He wrangled them, and we got it all done. Les, and are they still here? Les and them are here from J. Stanley and Associates, who have done all the AV and the sound in the room. And again, we're tweaking. There's a couple of items that are not here yet. I think, especially since the pandemic, we are, delays are very, very common now. So there will be a city seal lit from the back that goes on the wall behind where the mayor sits. There'll be draperies here. There are shades for when it's really bright in this building, and they will come down when we need them to. The podium is not in. It ships Thursday, and by the time it gets, before the next meeting, it's supposed to be stained and installed, and it is ADA accessible, so it will raise and lower depending if someone's in a wheelchair or needs, to sit down. So there's just a little bit of tweaking to do before the next meeting, but it's a great team. They know to get it done. We're having another meeting before I leave Friday, and it's going to be done. It's going to look really good.
Thank you again, Susan. Again, we just want to share appreciation to you. Let's give her another round of applause. Melissa, if you're, we'll start with the Rock Academy presentations. And before you actually no, we'll wait till after. Well,
are you sure?
No, it may take a little while.
It won't.
Oh, all right, never mind. Thank you, Melissa.
No, thank you. Greetings to the mayor, board of directors, and our esteemed guest. My name is Melissa Mitchell. I am the creative economy advisor for the city of Little Rock under the administration of Mayor Frank Scott Jr. And this summer, for a wonderful 6 weeks, I had the honor and the privilege to facilitate Rock Academy. Rock Academy stands for Residents Obtaining Community Knowledge, and 32 residents were passionate and desired to learn more about our city government operations, what our departments are responsible for, and how they can become more involved. So we actually had our graduation ceremony right before the board meeting because we were uncertain about capacity here. So we had that down in the rotunda. Some of our graduates moseyed up here. If you would stand, I want to recognize those that are in the room. All right, there's one, and then we have one in the back, Aisha Thomas and Kelvin Trimble. So I definitely want to recognize them and their work and dedication. If you would give them a round of applause. So I'm excited to be before you and acknowledge their hard work, dedication, and what they would like to learn more and foster community here with the city and you all. So thank you for your time. They've already had their ceremony downstairs, but we appreciate you listening, and we look forward to having you at our next session. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Melissa, we appreciate you. We know that was a number of different weeks after 5 that you're with our residents and sharing knowledge about our city. We're grateful for your hard work and the entire team. I know a lot of department directors go. I know there's been some city board members attend as well, so thank you so much. A couple quick things. Director Hines, going to call on you. There you go.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Just a note to my fellow board members, that button is very sensitive. You don't have to press it very hard. You can only just kind of lay your finger on it. So that if you press it real hard, it'll turn on and off on you. I kind of. Anyway, Mayor, I want to bring forth my intention to bring forth a resolution related to the settlement agreement, not it's tacitly really related to the settlement agreement we're going to hopefully approve here. It's on the consent agenda regarding Carter Land Estates. This has to do, we've got public works funding for a project that was never done for Madison Valley that sits on it's on the eastern boundary of this property for some previous water issues that the neighborhood and staff ultimately decided wasn't really going to fix the problem. Future development was supposed to fix the problem, but we had a issue with our planning department, not talking to our public works department about what that should exactly look like. And so we found ourselves in the predicament we're in with settling a claim regarding that whole development. But this resolution would express the board's intent to remedy any previous water issues, any current or water issues that may come about from the Carter Lane development going forward. But I think the stop work order on that development has caused some things not to happen, and we want to make sure we get it all done with one fell swoop, so that I think the best order of business, having talked to some of the neighbors and in the area, is that we want to get that development, the lots finished, and so we can see what the actual water flows look like with what the work they're supposed to do, and then try to get it all done in one fell swoop. But we do have public works honors, but this is a resolution to give Madison Valley neighborhood our commitment that we're going to take care of any issues that may crop up or exist before, during, or after the completion of this project. So, and I've talked this with the city attorney, Tom Carpenter, and it'll be on our next agenda per our rules.
Thank you so much, Director Hines. Director Adcock.
I would like to defer item number 18 for 2 weeks.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Madam Clerk, if you would read the consent agenda.
Is that a motion? We need a second, don't we, and a vote? Okay.
There's a motion second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Director Phillips.
Yeah, just quick point of clarification for Director Adcock. The deferral, so it'll be on the agenda next week and we will vote in 2 weeks? Am I understanding that correctly? Okay, understood. Thank you.
All right. Director Wire, was your hand up? Oh, well, you'll look at me if it's not. Yeah, no, well, yeah.
Okay,
Now
now
you can
it's
talk.
red.
No,
Now
blue,
I can talk.
Blue means you're waiting on me to turn you to red.
Okay, I really don't have anything to say.
Oh, well, no, I'll take you off. I will take you off. Madam Clerk, if you would please read the
Mayor, before she reads the consent agenda, item number 13 is the settlement agreement with Carter Lane. Unfortunately, the draft that we got before you this afternoon late, when it finally got worked out, is slightly incorrect. There are 2 places where it refers to the city paying $250,000. The amount will be $300,000. And in one of the sections about paying this amount, there is a clause that talks about the developers will be responsible to put in, among other things, 4 drainage culverts. We were not able to actually amend the agreement, so if this passes tonight, we'll get that amended tomorrow so it can be signed. But as the city manager pointed out to me, it still says 250, and I went berserk, so I thought you should know.
as amended. All right, Madam Clerk.
Mayor, we also have a modification.
Right. Director Hines.
I move we add M1 to the consent agenda.
There's a motion second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. M1's added. Madam Clerk, if you would, please read the consent agenda.
The consent agenda consists of a resolution to authorize the city manager to enter into contract with Smart Automotive Group in amount not to exceed $66,100 plus applicable taxes and fees for the purchase of one 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 2500 all-wheel drive with an installed nap-hide service body for the Public Works Department Street Operations Division and for the purposes. A resolution authorizes the city manager to enter into a contract with R. Valadez Construction Incorporated in amount not to exceed exceed $176,282.40 for the Azalea Drive Drainage Improvement Project and for other purposes, funding from the Limited Tax General Obligation Capital Improvement Bonds. A resolution authorizes the city manager to enter into contract with Escamilla Excavating LLC in amount not to exceed $110,838 for the Hidden Valley Drive Drainage Improvement Project and for the purposes, funding from the Limited Tax General Obligation Capital Improvement Bonds. A resolution to authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with Township Builders Incorporated in amount not to exceed $82,194 for the Hidden Valley Drive Sidewalk Improvement Project and for other purposes, funding from the Limited Tax General Obligation Capital Improvement Bonds. A resolution to authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with Township Builders Incorporated in amount not to exceed $131,100 for the Canis Road at Woodland Trail Turn Lane Project and for the purposes, funding from the 3/8 cent capital improvement sales tax and the limited tax general obligation capital improvement bonds. A resolution authorizes the city manager to enter into a contract with Escamilla Excavating LLC in amount not to exceed $236,177.70 for the Reservoir Road at Claremore Court Drainage Improvement Project and for the purposes, funding from the limited tax general obligation capital improvement bonds. A resolution authorizes the city manager to enter into a contract with Carson and Associates Incorporated in amount not to exceed $1,647,600 for the construction of the landfill truck wash and for other purposes. A resolution authorizes the city manager to enter into a contract with SHI International Corporation in amount not to exceed $70,000 for the purchase of annual renewal subscriptions for licensed Adobe products to support City of Little Rock business processes and for the purposes. A resolution authorizes the city manager to enter into a subaward agreement with the Little Rock School District to administer a grant to support early childhood education at the Geyer Springs Early Childhood Center and for the purposes. A resolution authorizes the city manager to enter into subaward agreement with the Little Rock School District to administer a grant to support garden educators at community schools and for other purposes. A resolution to amend Little Rock, Arkansas, resolution number 16,043 of July 11th, 2023, to authorize the city manager to renew the contract with Vines Media LLC, doing business as Vines Brookshire, in amount not to exceed $280,000 plus applicable taxes and fees to provide media and marketing services for the Little Rock Zoo and for the purposes. A resolution authorizes the city manager to enter into contract with Bill's Fence Company Incorporated in amount not to exceed $234,600 plus applicable taxes and fees to install fencing at the Little Rock Police Department Northwest and Southwest stations and for the purposes. A resolution authorizes the city manager and city clerk to execute a settlement and release of claims agreement between the City of Little Rock, Arkansas and the Struggle is Real LLC and for the purposes. A resolution authorizes the mayor to accept grant funds from the National Education Association Foundation in the amount of $225,000 to support the city's community schools initiative with the Little Rock School District, to authorize the mayor and city manager to execute any and all necessary agreements and other documents for the administration of the grant and for the purposes. That concludes the consent agenda.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. Ayes have it. Director Miller?
And my bad.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Vice Mayor Webb?
Thank you, Mayor Scott. And even though we've approved the consent agenda, I have a question about one of the items, if I may.
Yes.
Item number 7. I noticed that the funding is from the Public Works Solid Waste Fund. And is that going to have a negative impact on the number of trucks we're going to be able to purchase for trash? Is this a typical expense? I mean, I know this is something new, but could you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Vice Mayor Webb, we're actually splitting the cost for this car wash between solid waste and fleet services. So half of the funding is coming from each of those departments. This is a very necessary piece of equipment or process that we need to help maintain the trucks we have and then any future trucks that we replace. So we look at it as, yes, it's funding that could potentially go towards truck purchases, but it's also something that we really need to maintain the trucks that we have and we will have in the future. So we sort of see that as an offset. It's something we really, really need, and it's finally something that we've worked on for probably 2 to 3 years, getting to this point. So yeah, it's necessary.
And I just think even that explanation helps people, because we've had so many issues with trucks being broken, and to know that the money is going to help keep the trucks that we have working better is good for us to know.
And the facility actually goes a little bit beyond just a truck wash. It's also going to have some other appurtenances to it that you'll be able to do. Some of the maintenance that our drivers or folks in fleet are going to be able to do some of the preventative maintenance as part of that facility. So it's going to help accommodate a lot of that with our truck as well.
Thank you. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you.
We'll now go into citizens' communication. Mr. Jimmy Cavan.
Mayor, I sent you an email on August, or back in July 18th, and I also sent it to Chief Helton, and I copied all of you guys on it. I don't want to read that email. Gentlemen, I know you both are very aware of the tragic shooting death of Brian Malinowski that happened as a result of the ATF serving a search warrant at his home in the early morning, March 19th. While this was an ATF operation, 3 Little Rock police officers were present and assisted the ATF in the raid. They are Olden Lakey, Clint Williams, and Steve Woodall. LRPD General Order 316 states officers must activate their body-worn camera for the execution of search warrants, any use of force incident, detentions, forced entries, and any other circumstances where an officer believes the recording of the incident is appropriate. All of the above clearly apply in this case. In responses to my FOI requests pertaining to the matter, LRPD has stated there is no body camera footage for Officer Lakey, Williams, or Woodall for the incident, which is a clear violation of General Order 316. Because this incident is most certainly of public interest, I formally request that you, Mayor Scott, instruct Chief Helton to conduct an investigation into why General Order 316 was not followed, along with a complete audit of LRPD's participation of the service of the warrant. Once complete, you release this investigation file along with all its findings and conclusions to the public. The citizens are demanding transparency in regard to this incident, and you both have not only the ability to provide it, but also a duty to do so. This is a golden opportunity to gain trust from the people. Please do not fail. Looking forward to a response from each of you. I never got a response. Mayor, warrants, you've been very outspoken on warrants across the country and here in Little Rock. I remember you standing with Michael Lowe on a no-knock search warrants. I can't understand why you or anybody else in this room would not want to know what happened in the shooting death of Brian Malinowski. We could get answers nobody else can get. You can get answers the United States Congress cannot get by doing this investigation. This is not trying to throw the Little Rock PD officers under the bus. It's trying to get answers to what happened. You can make that happen. This should not happen in a city like this. We have a man that's dead, and I believe that you guys can get answers that nobody's been able to get to this point. I certainly hope you will take the opportunity to do that.
Thank you, Mr. Gavin. Ms. Norma Huffman.
Evening, guys. You guys know why I'm here, but there's 2 things that I need to bring to y'all's attention, and you guys know I don't disrespect anybody, but there's 2 people on this board that have done nothing but disrespect. Mayor Scott, repeatedly, you have walked out or paid attention to your phone when people are up here talking. That's disrespect. I know you were raised not to disrespect anybody, but I have had several people tell me when I did not have my glasses on, tell me that that's what you did. I don't appreciate it. Director Adcock, you calling the cops on the people that called you for help from Big Country, that was not called for. You having them arrested for trespassing, that's not called for. They called for your help. That's it.
Order in the room.
Now, I've been a resident for Little Rock off and on my entire life. Okay? We all know that there are apartment complexes, these people in these complexes that need desperate help. I live across from the villas on 65th. I saw that fire last week. There are still several people out there that need help. Please, I beg you, help me to help them. That's all I ask.
Thank you, Ms. Huffman, and I do apologize if I was on the phone. Mr. Johnny Miller.
Hi, my name is Johnny Miller. I'm here to speak again on an issue in which I've been coming before the board, now speaking before. I'm glad that you all allow me to speak, and only in America can we do such. And thank you for all the things that you do for Little Rock, Arkansas, and for me. I'm asking that you also do more. As it is, I'm in a dispute with a city department which was operated under MHA and under the leadership of our housing and urban development. Through the course of that, I needed a lot which was next to me. I needed it for essential reasons. And the property in question is the old VA nursing home. It was situated on 3 streets. Now, the property had been subdivided, almost 30 lots. But when I made the proposition that I needed that lot for essential reasons because I had no access to the roadway, and time after time, up to 10 years now, that's how long it's been going on, I got no forwardness on it. And actually, there's a bill that was started and it has been completed. And I am ashamed to even have to come here and bring about accusation against leaders whom I know are doing the best they can. I know you all are, and I believe that any other leaders who have been assigned and have been accepted and have been believed to handle those positions are doing such as that. And if it may be, I'm just asking that. Questions may be asked. Why? What's a lot on the end of the one street that all the houses had to be put on? Why was that lot left vacant when I needed the other end of that same available space to have myself a driveway? Now, in the process of that, I was offered as a I guess a condolence that a driveway would be given unto me through an easement that was created. 3 houses, footprints was changed, which is going to allow me to have an easement. I didn't really want it, but I had no other option, so I accepted it. And I recorded the conversation. I recorded with the department head. I recorded with his assistant. I recorded with the manager. And that's not only. I have others also.
Mr. Miller, your time is up.
If it may be, I might stay, sir.
That's the rule, but if you have something you want to leave in writing with the clerk, we'll get that disseminated.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. And I apologize, Ms. Paulina Weber? Paulina?
Yes.
I apologize, my eyes are challenged.
It's okay. Greetings, Mr. Mayor, members of the board. I'm a resident of the South End. I'm just here to kind of complain about our trash pickup. We're on week 3, no trash pickup, week 4 for recycling. I've spoken with Director Miller, and I know you're aware, but since our last conversation, this meeting just came first. But we, residents don't know what to do now. We keep calling Waste Management, and apparently they're putting in reports that our trash isn't out, and that's not true when they're just not coming through the neighborhood. So we're not really sure what to do next, so we just wanted to make y'all aware of that. Thank you.
We'll get with Waste Management. Ernest, Mr. Ernest?
I want to talk about Rock Reach Metro, the bus company. Right now, they short on time. We don't have no way to get around. It's one instant way y'all can get them more funding for get the buses around late. And I want to talk about the Greyhound situation. We still don't have no bus yet. Could y'all do something out there? Well, about the Greyhound, we still don't have no buses, and I still have to keep bottom rise and do something about downtown where the city streets at. Can y'all fix them potholes right there about third and center, and do something about the long traffic light that on East 9th Street? It takes too long to change, but right now Rock Reach Metro, like on weekends, it takes longer time to get there because the times it's shorter drivers and it takes long to get there, you know. And they don't have no money for the funding. And I try to call. I still have to go out of town to catch rides stuff. Could y'all please contact the bus company? The bus company say they can't come here because they ain't making no money. And low ridership, and I've been still having a way to get around. So, and I've been trying to get somebody to do something, like I can't get no answer. So I don't know what it's to do.
Thank you, Mr. Ernest.
Okay.
And we have your contact information. All right. Madam Clerk, if you would, please read the grouped items.
An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Paranova LLC, STR2 PDC, located at 4 Connell Drive, Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes, an ordinance to approve a plan zoning development and establish a plan development commercial titled Taylor STR2s PDC, located at 8411 Ferndale Cutoff, Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes, an ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled George STR2 PDC, located at 1422 South Battery Street, Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes, an ordinance to declare it impractical and unfeasible to bid, to authorize the city manager to enter into a sole source contract with Grayston Partners Incorporated in amount not to exceed $37,410 plus applicable taxes and fees for the purchase of helmets for the Little Rock Police Department Special Operations Division, to declare an emergency and for the purposes. First reading.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Second reading.
An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Paranova LLC, STR2 PDC, located at 4 Connell Drive. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Taylor STR2s PDC, located at 8411 Ferndale Cutoff. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled George STR2 PDC, located at 1422 South Battery Street.
An ordinance to declare it impractical and unfeasible to bid, to authorize the city manager to enter into a sole source contract with Grayston Partners Incorporated in amount not to exceed $37,410 plus applicable taxes and fees for the purchase of helmets for the Little Rock Police Department Special Operations Division, to declare an emergency. Second reading.
There's a motion and second. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Third reading.
An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Paranova LLC, STR2 PDC, located at 4 Connell Drive. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Taylor STR2 PDC, located at 8411 Ferndale Cutoff. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled George STR2 PDC, located at 1422 South Battery Street. An ordinance to declare it impractical and unfeasible to bid, to authorize the city manager to enter into a sole source contract with Grayston Partners Incorporated in amount not to exceed $37,410 plus applicable taxes and fees for the purchase of helmets for the Little Rock Police Department Special Operations Division, to declare an emergency. Third and final reading.
Members of the board, we've had 3 readings. Are there any questions? Members of the board, we have 3 readings. Are there any questions? Are there any questions? All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Madam Clerk, if you would, please read item number.
Emergency clause on number 17.
There's an emergency clause on number 17. Is there a motion and a second? All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Madam Clerk, if you would, please read item number 19.
An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Paranova LLC, STR2 PDC, located at 15 Oakwood Drive, Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for other purposes. First reading.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Second reading.
An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Paranova LLC, STR2 PDC, located at 15 Oakwood Drive. Second reading.
There's a motion and a second. Is there a second? All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Third reading.
An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Paranova LLC, STR2 PDC, located at 15 Oakwood Drive. Third and final reading.
Members of the board, we've had 3 readings. We have a question from Vice Mayor Webb.
Thank you. Is Mr. Jordan here? Maybe out. There you are. I didn't see you.
I was hidden behind the podium.
May I ask him a couple of questions? I know that when you and I talked about this early on.
Yes, ma'am.
If I remember correctly, at that time, y'all had not heard from residents.
Right.
And when I saw that this was going to be on the agenda, I went door to door.
Sure.
Up and down the street to ask people what they thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the residents were not in favor of it.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things somebody brought up was they thought that there were a significant number of short-term rentals in the neighborhood. And I know our records are not the best because we have what's been approved, but we don't have a record of all the other ones. So
Sure.
Do you have that information of what is sort of in the 1 mile or so?
Yes, ma'am, I do have that information. Within a quarter of a mile, there's 0. Within half a mile, of this project, there are 1. Within 3/4 of a mile, there are 4, and within 1 mile, there are 5. So within 1 mile of this project, there are 10 STRs that have been approved.
10
Yes,
within
ma'am.
1 mile.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mayor, I know that we've had some issues. I don't know if the people who are the property owners are here. I know there weren't any cards. I know one of the things we've been concerned about is due process, but I would ask for a no vote based on the neighbors that I talked to.
Sure, and just reminder for members of the board, whatever you, if the nays prevail, there are other means that property owners go towards. I just want to make sure everyone's clear, because we've seen this happen before where you all say no and then those property owners go to court, and so I just want to make sure everyone's aware. We've had Director Computer, you got, everybody just tap it one time. Like, tap it. Yeah, there you go. Director Computers.
In order not to get into the next phase you're talking about, I would make a motion, we defer this for 2 weeks and ask the people to be here. I think it's hard to say we're going to approve something when the people who want it approved aren't here. I mean, I just, I think it says something about what we're doing if someone's doesn't care enough to show up. So I ask we defer it for 2 weeks.
All right, there's a motion on the floor to defer for 2 weeks. All those in favor, please say aye.
Quick question about that.
Director Phillips.
Are we sure they're not here?
You just asked.
I know, I don't think anyone, okay, all right.
He asked and I kind of asked too.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
That's just, you can't do that.
All right, all those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it. We will defer number 19 for 2 weeks. Brad, if you'll reach out to the applicant and encourage them to be here.
Yes, sir.
Madam Clerk, if you would please do item number 20.
An ordinance to amend Little Rock, Arkansas Revised Code Section 4-71 of 1988 to extend the hours of on-premise Sunday sales of alcoholic beverages from 10 a.m. to 12 midnight to declare an emergency and for the purposes first reading.
Move to suspend the rules and place on second reading.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Second reading.
An ordinance to amend Little Rock, Arkansas Revised Code Section 4-71B to extend the hours of on-premise Sunday sales of alcoholic beverages from 10 a.m. to 12 midnight to declare an emergency. Second reading.
Move to suspend the rules and place on third and final reading.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Third reading.
An ordinance to amend Little Rock, Arkansas Revised Code Section 4-71B to extend the hours of on-premise Sunday sales of alcoholic beverages from 10 o'clock a.m. to 12 midnight to declare an emergency. Third and final reading.
Members of the board, are there any questions? Members of the board, are there any questions? Members of the board, are there any questions? All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Is there a motion on the floor for emergency clause?
So moved, Mayor.
A second. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it.
Wait a second. I don't think you have enough for the emergency clause.
Well, that's what I heard, unless there's a roll call as a chair. Now, unless there's a roll call, I heard all ayes.
There were two B. Director Lewis.
That's crazy.
Director Wyrick. Director Compuris. Director Phillips.
Yes.
Director Adcock. Director Miller. Director Richardson. Director Peck. Director Hines. Vice Mayor Webb. Got 7 for, 2 against, and 1 absent.
Fails.
It fails.
The emergency clause fails.
The emergency clause fails.
Right.
Can someone who voted no redo it? Because literally, this is a cleanup. This makes, there are literally folks who are operating against the law right now. I mean, seriously. To operate within the law?
Let it go.
All right, no problem. Yeah, that just, yeah, all right.
It's fine.
Item number 21. Madam Clerk, if you would, please read item 21. The hearing's open. We have, for the taxi fare? Do you have any comment? All right. Did you have something to say, sir? Are you part of the owning? Come on up.
Hey, everybody. I'm the GM of Z-Trip. Used to be called Yellow Cab here in the city. So basically, we're asking for an increase in rates. It doesn't go to Z-Trip at all. It goes to the actual people who are the drivers, just the drivers in general. And we did like a CPI calculator. Rates haven't been increased since 2010. So we did a 14-year CPI calculator, which is Consumer Price Index, and it came to 36 cents for an eighth of a mile. So we thought that was a little high. So we did the conservative side to 32 cents for an eighth of a mile. I've reviewed this with different other locations in the United States throughout Z-Trip, and we feel like this is, good for the drivers, so they'll be able to make more money. Inflation, it's definitely went up lately, so that's just what we're asking for. Just goes directly to them. Thank you.
Seeing no other question, we'll close the hearing. Madam Clerk.
An ordinance to amend Little Rock, Arkansas Revised Code, Section 34-443B, Chapter 34, Article 3 of 1988, Grounds Transportation Service Vehicles, and for the purposes, first reading.
There's a motion second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Second reading.
An ordinance to amend Little Rock, Arkansas Revised Code, Section 34-443B, Chapter 34, Article 3, Grounds Transportation Service Vehicles, second reading.
There's a motion. Is there a second? All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Third reading.
An ordinance to amend Little Rock, Arkansas Revised Code, Section 34-443B, Chapter 34, Article 3, Ground Transportation Service Vehicles, third and final reading.
Members of the board, we've had 3 readings. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it. We are now coming to the end of the agenda. Are there any questions before the city board before we adjourn? If not, we'll get a motion to adjourn. There's a motion. Hold it. Hey, everybody. There's a motion on the floor to adjourn, but we have Director Miller, who is, before we adjourn, and Director Peck.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to state and make sure the public understands that we have budget hearings coming up. I'm not exactly sure when they're scheduled. Hopefully the latter part of August, maybe 1st of September. I think that is extremely important that the public understand that we're getting ready to have these discussions. I certainly want them to be involved in discussions. We can go out in wards, however we want to set that up. We need the feedback, and what I'm getting from my constituents and residents is that they want to be involved in that process. They want to know where they can share their ideas about the budget, because regardless if the sales tax passes or not, we got to have a 2025 budget, and they want to be involved in that. And so I want to state that, tell the public we're going to get them information about it and how they can participate in it, because to me that is extremely important as we deal with the monies that we do have as it relates to, say, public fleets and those type things. So please, I'm stating for the public to get involved with this and let your voices be heard. Thank you, Mayor.
Director Miller. Director Peck.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask the board to please mark your calendars for Saturday, September 14th. That is the kickoff of our litter campaign. Well, I won't give away the slogan yet, but this is actually an annual event at Murray Park. It's a big cleanup sponsored by Keep Little Rock Beautiful. And I've been meeting with the Sustainability Commission, the Sustainability Officers, zoo people. I've got a meeting with the Chamber tomorrow, starting to get a lot of momentum to kick off the litter campaign. So the big reveal of the logo and all of that will be September 14th, 10 o'clock in Vice Mayor's ward, right down the street from Dr. Kapiras's house. So come and help us clean up trash, and I hope to see you there Saturday, September 14th.
Thank you, Director Peck, and thank you. I know you've been taking a lot of leadership in the cleanliness of our city. I want to share our appreciation. Director Phillips.
Thank you, Mayor. This is an announcement to my colleagues. A few months ago, I sponsored an ordinance to change the urban use zoning designation downtown Little Rock. There was some questions about it, and as it relates to the master plan. The master plan, as you know, we adopted, and it also indicated that we should make the UU change. So I just wanted to give y'all a heads up that that's still in the works, and that should be in front of everyone soon. And I hope to have your support, as that's one of the first steps to making our master plan become a, can you say master reality? Can you go from master plan to master reality, Mayor?
Whatever you would like, City Director.
I just wanted to share that with my colleagues, that I hope to have their support on that coming soon. Thank you, Mayor.
Vice Mayor Webb.
Thank you, Mayor. Quick question, will we have appointments next week?
The 20th, please.
Thank you.
Yes, and also, just so you all are aware, the interim city clerk will be Miss Alley. Let's give her a round of applause. Any more questions? And the Food Commission will be on that one. You didn't ask that, but I want to make sure you know. All right, there's a motion on the floor of the second. First meeting only took us 1 hour and 9 minutes. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Ayes have it, meeting adjourned.